Well, I just love it because we got to know this bear so well. His name was Morris.
Tell the whole
And
story.
we generally don't name the animals when we're around them, but we were surrounded by so many grizzly bears that instead of saying, "Oh, it's the bear with the left ear that's kindly drooped," it's like we're like, "This is a big male bear. What can we call him? Let's call him Morris, and let's call that one Heather," and just gave them names. And Christina and I, again, Christina has not been around a lot of bears. She's, famous for her cultural photography around the world, and the fact that she indulges me and comes with me into the wild, and she loves being in nature as much as I do. But I really was excited to take her to a place where the grizzly bears are thick, and it's cold. It's -20. It's in the fall. The bears are in a phase called hyperphagia, where they're eating incessantly, where they just can't stop. It's their last 2 weeks to get all the nutrition and fat that they can, that's going to allow them to survive and stay in their den or in their cave or in their ice cave or wherever they are, wherever they're hibernating for the winter. So they're just eating as much as they can, and they're just hungry. And so Christina and I are sitting down on the edge of the river. We have our feet in the water in our rubber boots, and all of a sudden Morris, who's normally about 100, 200 feet away from us, sees this big chum salmon, and he starts to chase it up the river, and the fish is trying to get away. And we're watching Morris running towards us at 20 miles an hour, like as fast as a horse, chasing this salmon. And all of a sudden the salmon ends up between Christina's boots, and now Morris is sitting 3 feet away from us. And he looks up and he's shocked to see us there. He's way out of his comfort zone, and we're just looking up at this huge 600-700 pound grizzly bear, and we're like, "Hey Morris, it's okay buddy, it's all right." And he relaxed right away. But the funny thing was, for Morris, after that, he realized that 3 feet away was a comfortable distance. He didn't come 3 feet very often, but he came a lot closer than he was. He was coming 10, 15, 20 feet away and just walking by us, knowing that we were no threat. And we sort of built this nice rapport over spending 3 weeks together. Well, it got colder and colder, -25. The bears are going into their dens for the winter. All the bears left the river. It was an incredible shoot. We're packing up camp, and I just wanted to go down to the river and give thanks. And I poured myself a nice big thick glass of scotch and with some ice in it. And I'm just sitting there sipping it by the river, and it's cold. And I hear some noise behind me, and I think it's Christina. And I look up, and it's Morris. Morris actually had not gone into the den yet, and he came down to the river, and he walked out in the water, and he grabbed a big chum salmon, and he walked back and sat there right down next to me. He could have sat anywhere, but for some reason Morris sat down right beside me, and I'm sitting there drinking my scotch, and Morris is smacking his lips eating this big chum salmon, and we're just both super relaxed looking up and down the river. And those are one of those defining moments that you just